Welcome to WROL Broadcast. I am Hate Mail, and with me today we have Kage and special guest Loot, otherwise known as the Old Guard No Loot for You. And this is the Meta Report. Loot, I know you left the game for a little while, recently rejoined, and you were a super whale back in the day before I learned how to become a whale, and even then I think you surpassed me by a wide margin. So what brought you back to the game?
Well, this is going to sound crazy, but I was on vacation in West Palm, and I was sitting on the beach, and I had nothing to do, and my kids were in the ocean, and I'm not a big fan of the ocean. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to fire up DC Legends. And that was it. It took all of 5 minutes, and I can't just do one. So I was all in. I started off exactly where I started where I left off. I went right in. I bought 4 gem packs and was like, let's do this.
You weren't playing around. Well, you're on vacation right around the corner from where I live, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's beautiful down there.
Yeah, I remember you buying like 1 million Arsenal packs, and I was like, dude, he's the free character. Why are you taking him to L4 right away?
Well, when we get to Black Lightning, we can talk about that too.
Okay. But yeah. Yeah, it kind of blew my mind. I was like, holy cow, how deep is this guy's pockets?
Yeah, I have a problem. I work very, very hard, but I also play hard. So this is back in the day, like when me and ATAX were always one-upping each other, and he left the game, but he was even more of a whale than I was. That guy made some serious money and really liked to spend his money. He saved money too, but he made so much of it that it didn't really matter.
I've been trying to slow down big time, but it's been hard just because every time I'm like, okay, I'm only going to buy a couple packs this month, and then a new character comes out, and then Siege drops, or just something that I want to spend my gems on. I'm like, crap,
pulls you back in.
Yeah.
Well, last month, I was right where I wanted to be, which was right around 4 gem packs. And this month, so far, so it's February 3rd, I'm already at 3 gem packs. Now, as soon in another 2 weeks, I mean, Siege is a 3-week event. We're talking 2,000, what are we at, 2K a day?
That's
right?
If they do it the same way, which we would assume they will, but yeah, it'd be 2K a day.
So if it's 2K a day, we're looking at 14K a week. So by the time Batwoman gem sale comes out, I'll probably be out of gems, considering I'm basically using them all today to get ready for Siege.
And this is your first Siege, huh?
This is my first one. I'm actually really excited.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about Siege now. Anyway, ahead of time, we'll talk about and just for everybody to know, we'll talk through the 2 rework characters, Black Lightning heavily, and then a little bit of Batwoman since Loot has already unlocked her and cured her out. So, but anyway, so what are your thoughts on Siege, Loot? What are you excited for it? You think it's gonna be a fun mode?
I'm really excited. I talk to Mayus all the time, or I usually just call him N4, but I think he likes to go by Mayus. And
Murphy is what his name is?
Yeah, it's like M415.
Yeah.
But it came, so it's actually like May, like the month May, and then is. So it's May is.
We've given him so many names on this podcast.
So I just call him M4 for short, otherwise known as the Master Sensei.
Which is the Pro Siege player.
Basically, I listen to him. He's my strategist. and he's gotten me really excited for Siege. And you've gotten me really excited for Siege too, because everybody's saying that this is their favorite game mode. So, especially for us whales, we love to have fair fights, and a fair arena for people that like to spend money is absolutely high on my priority list.
So you did find when you went World's Finest. Did you complete World's Finest, or are you doing it this week? I can't remember.
I'm doing it. So, I mean, I've done it. I think I've been World's Finest like maybe 12 or 13 times total.
Right, but you've been back.
This is my first go at World's Finest since I'm back, and I got to tell you, I picked a great week to do it. It happens to be Black Mana this week, and that was the Siege character, and I wouldn't participate in that Siege. So a lot of people aren't playing this week, and it's really gone to my advantage, because there is no way I could keep up with somebody that has most characters at gear 10 or 10.5, and then they stick their 4 favorites at gear 11, level 70, and they can compete the same as I can compete and earn way more points. So, I mean, we all saw it with Miller, 2 weeks ago? He just couldn't compete, and he's a machine.
Well, the Chiefs failed, so I'm inside crying, and I feel dead inside. But I ran across this really whale, and I'm going to try to beat him with an old school Deathstroke. On auto, which, why in the did they go out to, is that Power Girl or Supergirl? I don't know. Poor Lobo, he's just like, God, I'm a baby, leave me alone. Okay, let's kill her. We're hitting the wrong one. That's Supergirl, that's why. My bad, Power Girl. I guess, hell, I don't know who that is. Who is that? Yeah, that Power Girl. Alright, Grundy. The game's got me so messed up. I don't know who Supergirl is, who Power Girl. God, Riddler spitting out kind of the buffs on me. She whipping around. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh, we're back alive. She still got that tone on her, man. What the? Come on, get Man, that is garbage. This is gonna be one of them long fights. This is my battle to World's Finest. That guy's gonna wake up and be like, we thought he was gonna sneak ahead of me. Oh no, not today. Not today. Look at Vince Wilfork. Man, f you. I can't even watch. I gotta turn the TV. I can't even watch. I can't watch it. I gotta turn the TV. I've been done threw my damn TV out the window. Alright, Deathstroke, y'all. One job there, brother. One job. Can you do it? Okay, you should. Oh shit. Oh, can you do it? Let's swing that axe. Oh my God. Is he gonna do it? On auto. Yep. I'll be 105 by the time this match is over. Okay, just one more. Go ahead, get him. Oh, nope. He's still alive. Oh, there it is. Yes, we did it. Got 6 points. But who did I beat? Oh, gotcha. Ooh, yeah. Gotcha. With Deathstroke.
He's got a great team. It's an auto team. I don't have an auto team. Every point I get, I have to get by playing. So
yeah, because you missed some of the major key characters. I know you only have a legendary one, Wonder Girl, and
correct.
You don't have Donna Troy
at all. And from what I'm seeing, Donna Troy, oh my God, please, Warner Brothers, sell her. You will make $500 day one from me. I mean, come on. I'm basically saying I will give you $500. Just sell her.
I have two parents are looking at you like, what the hell?
Yeah. So none of your close family that would freak out over wasted money on gems listen to podcasts, correct?
Oh no, absolutely not. Podcast. What's a podcast?
All right, so let's get into, well, first on Siege. I think the strategy is going to be a little different this time. I think board clears are going to be important, and I think fielding a team that doesn't lose often. Before the strategy was you wanted to lose so that you could do revenge, but the way it maths out, revenge is still, a positive. So if you see a team that you could revenge with 4 bonus tunes, it's worth doing, but it's not worth fielding a bad team and taking the loss of points to revenge. So I think board clears are going to be important, and then having a team that's going to hold up in Siege and not lose, but using as many characters as possible is going to be an interesting dynamic. And I still haven't decided how I'm going to play it yet. I know a few people have been asking me what team I plan to run, and I really don't know. I think Katana is going to be part of that. I think Black Lightning is probably going to be part of that, but I don't know for the rest of it. What?
So I have Katana. Well, she was already geared, but I took her to 80 yesterday, and Black Lightning is at 80 as well. And so I've been gearing the bonus tunes. All of the bonus tunes that are available will be G11, level 80, and L5.
I still haven't taken the rest of them to 80. Supergirl's at like 77, and I think I have 1 or 2 more that need to go 80, which I'll do before the event hits. But
You guys know Siege starts in like 6 hours, right?
yeah,
I'm sorry, what? I thought it was tomorrow.
Yeah.
Starts in 6 hours at reset.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
And this podcast
Yeah.
will probably come out I'm going to try to edit it as soon as we're done, so people will get this.
So it doesn't come out tomorrow?
No, it
It'll
doesn't.
come.
Yeah, it's 5 hours and 39 minutes. Siege of Batwoman.
Oh my
That's-
God, I'm going to have to get another gem pack. Just throw the money at the screen. Just take it from me. Just throw it in the trash.
All the free to play people that don't agree with people spending until they release more new content are like screaming at their podcast right now. So.
It's like, Loot, you're killing us.
No, Loot is saving the game. Trust me.
So let's talk about some of the rework characters. Let's start with Katana. Especially, I know you got her geared. Kage, have you geared her yet?
I do.
Okay, great. With the rework, I honestly don't notice a huge difference, and I honestly
Neither
at
do
this
I.
point can't even remember what the rework is. But I have to say I'm having a blast with her. And I'm sure you guys seen the 80 videos I posted in our Alliance chat showing my Katana, Black Lightning. I think I was using Harley Quinn and
Silver Banshee.
Silver Banshee. I freaking love that team. I'll have a bunch of video of that if you're watching the YouTube version of this. For Legendary Order, I really think I don't change anything except for I take 4 before 5 now. Or not 4 before 5. 4 before... Actually, I'm still doing 4 last. I moved 1 up from 5. So I think I'd just go 1, 5, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know
Or
if you
2, 3,
guys
5,
agree with
4.
that.
Well, one absolutely has to go first.
Yeah.
Can't miss. Steal buffs. It's great. It's my favorite skill.
The way her kit works, and a lot of people point this out, is that she'll never get that crit immunity. That's the only change in her kit, is getting the crit immunity.
So is it broken?
No, it's just you can only use you can only gain the crit immunity if all the enemies are alive. And by the time you actually use that skill, someone's already dead. So there's really no difference. They bumped up her heal to like a 20% true heal. That's about
it was from 15 to 20.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's really
That isn't necessarily true because a lot of times I have gotten it a couple times when I've opened the match with Black Lightning to remove the buffs from Power Girl, and then I use her 3 and it kills Power Girl. So it does happen every now and again.
The gaining the crit immunity?
Oh yeah, you're right. She's dead. Never mind. I haven't paid
Yeah,
attention to see if it's there. You're right, because you're not going to ever open with her too. So
unless you're seeing like a red heavy team and you just want to crit immune, sure.
yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea.
but it's rare.
If
You're right. It's rare that you
yeah,
would use that.
I think maybe the developers should take a look at that because they changed. I mean, if you're going to do a rework, the changes should be impactful. They should matter.
Yeah, I was hoping her rework would make her something like an Etrigan, where like every time she kills someone with her 3,
She
it's
gets a good
100%.
buff.
Yeah, it's 100% chance to gain that the heal and like the crit immunity and the evasion. That'd be kind of cool.
I think it
That
also
would be
bumped her
great.
from. She was either 10 or 15% true heal, and I think it went to 20
Yeah,
on that same
it's
score. But
20.
once again, I've used that. I cast that skill like 2 times a match. I mean, I occasionally do kill somebody with my 3 and it casts. That's the only time I ever see that happen. But you're right. There's really nothing else. That's why the legendary order. The only change I made was I originally for some reason had listed 5-1 and I did 1-5 because I use her as leader more often than not. That's why. That's if you're never gonna use her as leader, obviously bump the leader out. But I don't find the other two to be all that useful. So I'd rather just have her leader. Especially if you're only going legendary 2, you want to have the option of using her as leader and being able to steal all the immunities and awareness from a target when you're attacking them is pretty darn useful.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about LiveWire. You guys notice changes in LiveWire?
That's the one I've noticed the least amount of change.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. I don't notice anything.
They
neither have
bumped
I.
they bumped her percentages on like counterattacking and like doing the multi-shot on the gigawatt.
I do
And
notice it does
then
it 3 every single time.
yeah, so I think that's a positive change. And the can't miss retaliation is there. I think they put it there because of Holly being everywhere and she's just spamming that AoE.
Yeah,
So I
that
think
part is useful. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there is because when she does her little hammer when you retaliate, it used to always just miss.
yeah, so now it can't miss,
Right.
and that's cool. But I do wish that what they could have done was if someone misses, she could also proc her heal move, her buff move.
That would have been pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Damn
And
it!
then for gigawatt, they could have also made that can't miss.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they don't want to have every character have can't miss, but there's just so much evasion running around. You always want endless can't
Right.
miss. But the positive thing, and I don't want to talk about Wonder Girl hardly at all on this, but we should mention that with her love tap nerf, whatever you want to call it, um, Steppenwolf is usable in some cases. So
You got to be really careful
you gotta
though.
be really careful, but that's okay. But it's before it was just you couldn't even put him as leader; it was a death sentence. And now you can get away with it, especially if you run Donna Troy on your team. So
Ah, Donna Troy.
so I noticed I can get away with running buff characters a little bit more than I used to be able to, and I think it's kind of that perfect balance where they really didn't touch her much. So I think the people that were really worried about the nerf probably aren't really noticing a change, and those of us that just want to have a little bit of diversity or be able to run anti-evasion, you can now without getting annihilated. So I feel like it was a really good middle of the road nerf
Love
that
tap.
yeah, love tap that really did exactly what it should do. Just made the game a little bit more variety.
The
Now,
only comment I do have on that is I still think that 70% is really high.
It is. I mean, she's still hands down the
She's
best mechanic.
amazing.
Yeah.
Even at Legendary 1, I use her almost every match just to stay competitive.
Yeah. I mean, if you're grinding hard, you're almost crazy not to put her on the team.
Absolutely, you need her.
But when I face against her, I don't just get nuked right out of the gate because I have some buffs on my characters. And almost every character in the game relies on buffs to a certain degree. So, with the exception of a few. And before we move on to Black Lightning, let's see what Millertime has to say about those reworks and the new character.
Alright, I'm a little tired. I'm going to try to keep this PG. But this is Black Lightning. This is funny because I mentioned this to like Kage a couple of weeks before he got announced that we need Black Lightning. And here he is, Black Lightning. I've barely used him though, so don't judge me, but I'm going to take him a legendary. Boom. Boom. Let's see how he looks. I hadn't even probably looked at him. Oh, okay. Alright, I reckon. There he is, Black Lightning. Pretty cool. You know, something different. Different character, I guess. But, I don't know. I've heard good things about him, though. But, I personally have not used him. So, Hate and all of them will give you better info about him. I'm a high damage guy. I have nothing against support tunes, but I don't feel like he'll be for me. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe he'll do something. He's got them cool little goggles. I'll zoom in. There you go. You got the afro kicking it over here. There you go. Cool with it. But there's Black Lightning. And the reworks, I'm going to mention that a little bit. They're alright. I mean, devs, if you're listening, please give us something. Give us something. I don't I don't want to hear coming soon again. I will lose it. Give us anything. I don't mean Siege. Anything. Something new. Give us a skin change. Where'd that go? Where'd what was it, the darkest night, blackest day or whatever event, where'd it go? It was there. You dangled it in front of us. And then you took it away. You broke our hearts. So if you're listening, this is Millertime from the Owls. Please give us something new. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Sorry it wasn't too funny, but it's been a long weekend, man. Go Rams. Woo, yeah. Black Lightning.
Alright, so let's move on to Black Lightning, who I gotta say I really like him. He's been a fun character that does a lot. He's opened a new, and I kind of had a feeling he was going to. He's not, really powerful. Some people are comparing him to Red Robin. I don't think he's quite to that level. But he definitely enables new types of teams that we haven't seen before, and they're effective new types of teams.
Loot, you had him Gear 11 day one, so why don't you talk about him a little bit?
Okay, so I love him. I think he's absolutely what the game needed. We definitely needed a green healer. He completely fits that purpose. He's very versatile. I started using him. I went all in, I guess you can say it. I bought three gem packs right away because I absolutely needed the gems, so that because I'm so far behind, looking forward to Siege, there's a lot of things that I need to change in my roster in order to play it. So I got him to L4 day one, and I skilled him, I geared him, and let's just talk a little bit about his top qualities. So I think he's plug and play. I can put him in any team, and he fits that purpose. There's another thing that I didn't think of until Hate was just talking a minute ago. He doesn't rely on buffs or debuffs. He does rely on overheal, but that's not a buff or a debuff.
And you're not punished for having an overheal.
Exactly. So you can run Black Lightning, and he's not going to piss off Wonder Girl. Great. Wonder Girl's on the other team. He's not creating buffs. So even when she does the love tap, he doesn't really have buffs. So he's not above a 3? You need 3 buffs per character to have crazy damage.
It's if you have 1+ buff, it'll do double damage.
Oh, even 1+. So usually he has none. So it's a really good fit.
Yeah.
He has a purge. How awesome is that? And guess what? It can't miss. It's a
Right,
guaranteed 6 removal. And when he removes them, you get a heal. An overheal even.
Well, and the important thing to note on that too, the guaranteed buff removal works on MJ. You may miss and get counterattacked, but since he's an energy character, he doesn't take a ton of damage from her, unlike everyone else. And he'll remove all her taunt and all her evasions, which is awesome. Or most of her evasions. She'll sometimes still have one, and then you'll miss.
Yeah,
like,
one or
6
two,
characters.
right?
Yeah.
Now I'm hoping it's not bugged, but we'll never know if it's working as intended.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it says always purge 6 buffs. When they say that,
Always?
yeah, it specifically says always, so that's not a bug.
Oh, well, thank God.
So it does do that. The only thing that I think I think something is a little out of whack or maybe broken or bugged or glitched because it says, let me read it. It says, where
Special
is it?
damage and always purge 6 buffs from an enemy. Apply light overheal to all allies for each buff purged.
Okay, so if you do that against a character that doesn't have evasion, it works exactly as it's written. If you do that to a character that does have evasion, like Harley Quinn, I would say 9 times out of 10, he'll remove the 6 buffs, but he will not give his team a heal. And it'll say missed on the screen.
Okay.
And it'll happen to pretty much any time it says missed. It'll still take all the buffs, but you don't get the heal. The other thing that I noticed, even if let's say the character doesn't have evasion, and you hit them with the purge, it removes the 6, and you kill that character. So let's say you take out Deadshot, and he had crit up and invisibility or whatever else. You take all those buffs away, you kill him, you don't get the heal either.
I was running with Enchantress, and I want to say when I purge MJ, because it seems like you face MJ every match, I feel like I would still proc Enchantress for the overheal on her, but maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of Power Girl. I'll have to experiment with that more, but that I would assume is a bug, so that might get fixed to where it always works.
That would be great, because if you can either do one of two things at the beginning of the match. If Power Girl's on the team, you probably are going to go after her. But if Harley's on the team, she's the first person you're going to want to do the purge on. And it's fuel for Black Lightning because he needs that. You get the double damage. So, yeah, that would be awesome if they fix it.
So for legendary order, what do you like? I have my preference, but I'm just curious what your thoughts.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I did, but I kind of started out with a lot of fragments. So I did 2, 1, 3, 5, and then I did 4 last. I did 4 last because I hadn't used him, and the 35% seems really low, but it turns out it procs a lot.
Well, I think because he gets hit a lot. So
yeah,
you figure in a match you're going to get hit.
It procs a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely hits more than I would have expected.
But I was very hesitant even taking the legendary for that number 4 because it gives him 4 buffs.
Right.
Now,
with Wonder Girl out there, I'm like, well, do I want those buffs?
Yeah.
Now, with the duration of that buff, how long does it last?
It's 2 turns.
Oh, wow.
Oh, 2 turns.
Yeah.
Okay. So your legendary order, what's your final legendary order?
Yeah, if you was a new player who's like slowly gearing him, what order would you give them?
Well, I would go 2 first, absolutely. That is his point. he is a healer. You want that overheal, and it's a really good overheal. So when the other teammates get the heals, I would say 75% of the time, you get a really good one. So definitely go with 2 first. I would say 3 would be second because the purge is super important. And the overheal fuels the first one, so then you would go 3 after that. 1 after that. So it's 2, 3, 1, and then I'd go 4 and then 5.
Yeah, I think we're about the same. I personally think I'd take if I only had him legendary 1, I think I might take the 3 just because I open with it every single match.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely
And if it
that
wasn't
is hit number
bugged,
1.
which I assume it not working is a bug, I'd probably I'd probably take the legendary, but I'd go 3, 2, 1, 4, 5 would be my order. But that's semantics. I think there's a good argument to be made between 2 and 3. Now I know you, Kage, you like 1 sooner than 2 even.
So I had a couple builds in mind. The first build I thought of as soon as Loot started posting video was a very defensive build, and you're utilizing him more as a support healer, as a support role on this team. And so you would want to go 2, 1, 3, and then 5 and 4. 5 and 4 are kind of a toss-up. His 5 and 2 work really well together, so you want to take 5 sooner, probably, in this build. And then the more aggressive build, which is one I really recommend for Siege, and I can see a lot of turn 1 taunters running around. I would actually recommend 3, 1, 2, 4, and 5. And the reason is because once you get that 3 and 1 going, he'll be able to move more aggressively, more offensively, and you're saving 2 and 5 for later, just because you're not really maximizing his support role in this build. And it's really just personal preference, but I recommend going a really aggressive build for Siege.
Yeah, so my only problem with that is that it's hard because he is a little bit squishy. That's like the one knock I would say on him, and it's hard to keep him overhealed because he has a smaller life pool. The AI seems to target him almost always.
The AI tends to target healers, yeah.
Yeah, they hate him, so they go after him, and it's hard to keep him overhealed. So you almost want that because sometimes you'll be healing an ally and you'll be slightly below, and then you need that overheal to tip yourself off. But his damage, for those of you wondering about his damage isn't great. It does. I mean, it's not bad, but when it's overhealed, he does great damage. I mean, he'll do 30,000 crit. He does need to crit to do significant damage, but I would say for everything that he does, it's exactly what he should have.
Now, keep in mind, he's a special striker gear set. So the same gear set as Starfire or Zod, they don't do amazing damage unless they're critting. So that's just what you got to keep in mind.
Starfire does amazing damage all the time. I mean, she really does.
So it may be very beneficial to run Supergirl as a counter.
Yeah.
Lower the crit damage.
Yep.
Yeah. And she
or
has heal
even
immunity on her
Batwoman.
basic. She has heal immunity on her basic, so she'll suppress Black Lightning.
It's if Black Lightning's prevalent. I think the problem we're going to run into is against the teams, against people using the bonus characters, that will absolutely be viable. But then you're always going to run into the typical Batgirl teams or Atrocitus teams.
Now that's my biggest concern, actually, now that you brought that up with board clears being more important now and defensive teams being more important, is that you're going to see a lot more Wraith meta teams in Siege now, too.
Yeah, but you still, if you want to compete, you're going to have to use the bonus teams. That's what I love about Siege, and what I'm going to be screaming at my iPad because losing a character is so important, especially in the early phases when everybody thinks they can get number 1. And then once you realize you can't, you have to fight for top 10 to be worth buying gems every day. And then if you can't make top 10, then you're suddenly like, dang it, I don't know if I want to keep buying gems, but maybe I can make it. And then, yeah, you're going to have that whole big thing that you're going to have to deal with. But I do think that, yeah, Supergirl's going to be very useful against Black Lightning teams, but then when we're facing the Batgirl teams and stuff, you're just going to have to settle for using less characters. less bonus characters for that match. 'Cause you're not
But
gonna
at
be
the
able to run a
same
full bonus team.
time, I don't think it'll be just you.
Oh
So
no.
I think, I think it's going to end up balancing out
Yeah, it's just a matter of
because
who ends up using the
we're
most bonus
all
tunes
going
in
to
the end.
have to navigate the meta teams.
Well, yeah, you're gonna. I mean, that's what it boils down to in the end: is who got away with using the most bonus tunes, who didn't lose.
Right.
You know, you're gonna drop a match or two. I mean, everybody does. RNG is gonna get you. Um, that's why I like that Katana team that I ran. It should work. You know, it works against Atrocitus teams. I've used it effectively against them without losing a character. But you know, it's only 2 bonus tunes. But then again, 2 bonus tunes is if you can use 2, you're in good shape. Obviously, there's gonna be
Black
matches you can only
Lightning
use 3
is
or 4.
great against Atrocitus. Like, really good.
Why is that?
I don't know. I can wipe him out with
Oh, right.
one basic. Overheal in a basic, and you could kill Atrocitus.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, and 2,
I think I posted the video on that one. It was crazy.
yeah, if you crit, he's dead.
Now, the cool thing would be, I guess, if he had that heal immunity, so he couldn't revive himself.
Yeah, that's the problem with Atrocitus teams. But then if you're running Supergirl,
Right. Exactly. If you're running Supergirl, you can... Yeah, that's a cool tool to
I never
in
have a
your
lot of
kit.
luck with Supergirl teams for some reason. I actually this afternoon before I leave for the Super Bowl party, I'm gonna try to experiment with some Supergirl teams that use several bonus tunes to be
I
prepared
just
for
took
Siege.
her to 80 about 10 minutes before we got on this podcast.
Yeah, she's a good character, but for some reason when I use her, everybody still crits against me anyway. So but that's my
think that
RNG.
you can still crit. I think it's just less.
Well, yeah, it's less, but I mean, my RNG means that we'll always crit anyway. So,
Gotcha.
and you haven't been watching my videos that long, but if you had, you'll know that, and other people can testify to this. I have the worst RNG on the planet. So, before we wrap this up, let's talk a little bit of Batgirl. I haven't geared her at all because of my lack of characters to gear, so I have to do her one day at a time until
Right.
Siege ends, or at least the paywall hits. I might do her then, but I know you've been pretty impressed with her. You have her rank 3.
Yeah, she's R3, G11, level 80. And I got to tell you, she hits really hard. I was floored. So she's got, I only have 3 out of the 5 skills usable. So I don't even have a full kit. And her kit's really interesting. Basically, I start out with her 2, which gives me invisibility, 3 strength up, and 20% turn meter. So she really gets going after you do that. And then I use her 3. Now, her 3 is really cool because it's heavy damage, and then you get an additional 80% damage if she's invisible. So I was hitting characters for like 40,000 damage.
Wow.
I was like, oh my god.
She's a lot like Batman CC in that regard, but then she has, when you can unlock it, that payback is going to be obscene, I think.
Yeah, so right now, I mean, I'm looking at it. I don't have the legendary on my screen to really even mention what it is, and I don't have Reddit open. But at the end of each enemy turn, now, mind you, it says it's a 60% chance to
But
deal
I think you can get to 100.
right. As soon as you ring her, it's 100% chance.
And I think it can do it. It looks like a cool skill, and I think a really fun team with her would be a Clayface team. If you have Brainiac lead, you could safely run that, and then just start out invisible, mashing people.
You know, I am curious about one thing. So it says chance to deal light damage to the attacker per ally hit. So let's say somebody uses an AoE, okay, and your whole team gets hit. Does she hit 3 times?
That would be crazy if that's the case.
I was
wonder if
reading this, and I'm like, oh my god, this is nuts.
I just wonder if they gave Wonder Girl a love tap just to have Batwoman come in and be the next obscene. Because it's funny, somebody posted like a timeline of obscene characters. That character gets toned down, then a new obscene character comes out the following month, and I just wonder if that.
And remember, she's a red.
Yeah.
So if Wonder Girl slaps her, she's going to one-shot her.
She could. Well, the thing is, her passive won't, because the passive won't trigger the passive. But she'll use her. She tends, especially on AI, tends to use either her strength up or her whip on turn one. So
Oh, right. So her lasso passive won't be able to trigger payback?
no,
Okay.
I wish it could, but unfortunately, it won't.
But she always lassos at least once, so
Yeah, and
it
she
should
tends
work.
to open with that. So I
Right.
think that should work out pretty well. She definitely seems like she's gonna be a fun
I'm
character.
really and I don't even know what the legendary is. Like, that's just regular.
Yeah, I was trying to find the
Crazy.
post, but I can't find it. So, so-
Now, her one, I have found it doesn't do that much damage. The damage is okay. Against blues, it's not bad. But against reds or greens, it's really not much. And then she applies 4 crit damage down. And I've never really understood how that works. I know
well,
Penguin has it, and I don't get what it does.
It's kind of like what Supergirl's passive does. It allows you to crit, but your crit damage is reduced.
So instead of it being like 22,000, it would be 15
Like
or
10,000.
something, or 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's 10% reduction per stack. I'm not entirely sure how that works either.
all right, I
She
finally
also has
found
it.
it. Her
She also
legendary
has a
upgrade is
passive.
gain one awareness each time Batwoman gains the visibility on an ally's turn.
Oh, wow. She's going to be really hard to kill because
Yeah.
she gains invisibility all the time.
Seriously?
Yeah, like you can keep giving her invisibility.
Yeah,
I think it's a limit 1 awareness. Maybe. That's what my gut tells me.
Yeah, each time, but it's one awareness each time, so if she gets it every turn, that still
Damn,
stacks up
what?
fast.
She gets it a lot.
Okay.
She's probably going to be, I think, I have a feeling she's going to be the next meta level character.
Well, thank God she's paywall, because no one's going to be using her.
Well, everybody's going to get her from Siege. I mean, you get so many shards from Siege even if you are in lower ranks.
Oh, man.
And then she's
Well,
going to have another PvP,
Yeah, she'll
Wraith
have a
PvP.
PvP week.
Yeah, then
Yep.
she'll have the Wraith the following month, so. That'd
I've
be
never
interesting.
seen a paywall character be a meta character. I just haven't.
It's happened.
Oh no, it's happened. I remember when Reverse Flash came out,
That was the first one I was going to say.
Um,
Reverse Flash.
and not only was he paywall, he was unstoppable. There were
Seriously?
no tunes that could handle him.
Yeah, before DOJ came out, he
Oh
destroyed
my
everything.
god.
What the heck?
And
So-
no, it's funny. Supergirl was a paywall character too,
Yeah, and
I
she
thought
was
Aquaman was a
insane
paywall.
when she first came out.
and she was amazing.
Yeah, her
And
bullet
then-
could kill everything.
Yeah, and then we had this like cool. I liked the meta. Not a lot of people did, but it was my favorite meta of all time. Was Supergirl leader, Reverse Flash, DOJ, and
CAGA. I remember that one.
and Kaga. Right. Oh my god, that was the best meta of all time.
Well, that was where I built my YouTube following, was beating that team, because I only had 3-star legendary characters at the time, and beating that team with non-meta characters. That was my...
Well, that's how I was able to get World's Finest so many times. I mean, I was using that team. It was an auto team.
Yeah.
You would never lose on offense.
All right,
You
guys.
lose
Well,
on
this is starting to
defense.
get a little long in the tooth. So we've got 40 minutes of editing, which usually takes 2.5 to 3 hours. So
Thank you so much for having me on. It was
yeah,
a
it was really fun.
blast.
Good having you on, Loot. I'm sure we'll have you on again at some point. We're trying to get back to having guests on regularly. And we
Awesome.
forgot to go through the The LiveWire Legendary Order, we'll just include that in the show notes. And the so anybody looking for that, that'll be there. And thanks guys. Thanks for being on.
All right, guys.
All
See ya.
right, take care.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of WROL Broadcasts, a subsidiary of the Oddsman and We Are Legends. To view additional content and support the show, please go to patreon.com/WROL Broadcasts.